trying to implement Common Core is such a monumental task. I was thinking about it's kind of like standing at the base of a mountain and you look at the top and you think, how will we ever get there? And so all we can do is take one step at a time. So we talked about how do we take and find the pieces that we can put together to make this make sense for our teachers. So get from conceptual to application and have it be a thoughtful, sequential process. And so we kind of started with the end in mind in that we put together a 5-year plan. Where do we want to be at the end of 5 years as far as implementation? Because that takes us through the new assessment and beyond. And then we went back and we took that 5-year plan and thought, how do we look at making those actionable steps? So now we're starting to formulate those concrete steps. And then after that, we're going to start talking to our teachers, our staffs about it.
When something new comes along, you think, this is just like every other new thing that's come along. And so we thought that when we heard the Common Core, that was just another one of those things.
The newness of it was both exciting and a little scary. We get comfortable in what we have been doing, and something coming down the pipes that is new has those kind of effects.
So our teacher teams came together in grade level groups and department groups, and not from the same schools. We tried to get representatives from each of our 50 schools plus specialists. I think it's important that specialists be involved in this as well.
They're sheltering their instruction just as we would do maybe for students with the teachers and a variety of teachers. I mean, we're a non-title school sitting at the table with people who have, a different background, different style of teaching than what we might have here.
So I was asked to be on the district 6th grade math team and work with 3 other teachers in the district, which is always exciting because that generates a lot of ideas and enthusiasm.
And of course, I thought that was great because I'm the only one who teaches what I teach in my building, and so I always want to talk to the other people who teach the same thing at other buildings.
Because we brought in teacher teams last summer to start doing curricular crosswalks. So that was kind of our first step, kind of with those out in the field that are going to be doing this. And we thought, well, that should create buy-in. They're now deeply involved with their curriculum along with the Common Core. And what we did, and this is just an example, is we actually had them use a color-coded system. And so again, start with what they know. So this is an example of a English 7 curriculum document. And so they had the Common Core document, their curriculum document, and then they just started going through and color code. So a very, again, low stress. We're just kind of discovering what's in Common Core, and we're color coding to see what's already in our curriculum. Where are some pretty easy shifts that we can make? What are we missing entirely? And start looking at the process that way.
We sat and talked about the things, the possibilities, and where we looked at that. From that very first day, we were really jacked about where we were going with that. And from that first day, every time we did something, we got deeper into it and realized that it was going to be a lot of work to get to where we wanted to be, but in the long run, it was really going to be great for kids.
That in and of itself, I think, has been such a great experience because understanding the difference in the standards, just that piece alone has been fantastic.
It's a good thing to add more rigor to your classroom. It's a good thing to challenge the students more because as I taught at BSU while I did my master's degree, and I know that it is more rigorous than what they're getting in our high schools right now. I mean, it just is. It is night and day. And so I think the Common Core is like the best professional development opportunity that we have right now.
I think one of the things that was really important at the onset was when we developed our vision for the 5-6 year plan and looked at it as actionable items, that we had goals for us as a leadership team first. And then that set the foundation for the goals for our teachers.
The thing with all of our teachers to some degree, it's coming with or without us. We either have a chance to get out ahead of it and have a chance to work with it, which means more success for our students and a more graceful transition, or we don't. And so, like I said before, if we weren't a pilot school, we would still be chewing on this on our own. just to make sense for our kids, because that's what we're in the business for.
I think the Common Core will definitely be a challenge for special populations, but at the same time, I think it will force some potentially philosophical shifts in instruction, where those kids prior to Common Core may have been in an entirely separate curriculum that was unrelated to their grade level standards. And now the realization that, we really need to be keeping these kids in their grade level standards, maybe using different strategies to get them there. But they can do the analytical writing. They can debate a topic. And it raises the bar, and I think there will be some really strong pieces for curriculum that come out of that as well.
I think that the best thing that the Common Core is going to bring to my classroom is the ability for me to help them be more ready for college. Not all of my students are going to go to a 4-year institution. Not all of them are going to go to a 2-year institution, but they might go to a trade school. They might go to a cosmetology school. They might go to a university. They might go to graduate school. But all of them, as a whole group of students, are going to be more prepared for whatever it is.
My dream and my picture of that is that students will walk out of here with the knowledge that they can solve problems, that they can find the resources that they need, and that they can be engineers of whatever they want to do.